wonderful.
PFC Narten, 68 Whiskey, Combat Medical Specialist.
All right. So what initially got you interested in the Wisconsin Army National Guard?
I think it was more of an opportunity for me to potentially do something more with my life. My goal in life was to help others as much as I can, eventually save lives, and that led me down the road to Combat Medical Specialist because once you complete the course, you are nationally registered as an EMT, so you get that EMT basic license. And then that can segue into multiple careers, helping you for sure in the medical field, healthcare field, any other
Awesome.
healthcare jobs like that.
So when you enlisted, were you in high school? Where were you at?
I enlisted at 17. I went the split ops option. My recruiter reached out to me a few months before I turned 17, which was in September. He reached out. I turned 17 in November. It took a little bit to convince my parents. I enlisted in January, and then I did some drills at RSP here for a few months before I went to basic. Definitely helped. Got me the little P's and Q's, the stuff you don't quite understand fully before you go to basic, so I didn't get as crazy of experience as others did for sure. And then after basic, came home, then kind of figured out what I wanted to do with my life, so then I started studying medical stuff more because I knew that AIT was coming up and it was probably one of the hardest things I might do with my life, so yeah.
Okay, so you came back, did your senior year of high school, and then went to AIT in the summer.
Yep.
So where did you basic and where did you do AIT?
I did basic at Fort Benning. I was supposed to go to Jackson, and then some paperwork stuff happened, and I ended up going to Fort Benning. So then I did my basic there. They treated us as the infantry. It was pretty fun experience. We did a lot of cool stuff, completely different stuff compared to other MOSs that aren't so lucky to be under the combat label, I guess. But yeah, and then my AIT was at Fort Sam Houston. It is just east of San Antonio, Texas. Super hot there. When I got there, it was 110 every single day for probably 2 months, and the humidity was absolutely insane too. But it was awesome. Pretty hard mentally, educationally, studying every day. But yeah, you just gotta keep grinding, keep studying, and then eventually you'll earn the title as a combat medic.
Definitely. What would you say are some of your favorite memories or experiences from basic and AIT?
AIT is the one I remember the most. We definitely were allowed to do some crazy stuff, initiating IVs, so we're sticking needles inside of each other, which is kind of weird at first, but definitely cooler, especially during FTXs when we're treating each other as casualties, and then we're carrying them on litters for miles at end on our shoulders. Physically, it's pretty tough, but it's also really cool looking back on because I remember just hating it, wanting it to be over. This huge person's on my shoulders, and my shoulders are just killing me, but looking back at it, it's like, wow, this is probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Probably going to still be the coolest thing for the years on. But.
Definitely. What's a piece of advice that you would give to a high school junior or senior that is looking at what's next in their life?
Definitely set all your options on the table and make a decision for sure. That's probably the hardest part. There's so much you can do with your life, and you just got to make a decision. And National Guard is definitely a step to a segue into whatever you want to do with your life, especially with the tuition assistance, all the benefits for sure. Even active duty, if you aren't too sure if you want to make that decision with your life yet, just give it a try for sure. National Guard can eventually segue into a career in that field as well.